Hey everyone, it's VJ32 and it's time for a deck review, almost kind of a double deck review. And as a reminder, it is Christmas time, so if you want to send any gifts to your favorite deck reviewer, please feel free to do so. Alright, these decks are the Puppet and Kite decks, as you can see. This one says Puppet and Kite, Kite in green, because it is the Kite deck. And it's got this pattern on here, which is very colorful, lots of reds and some blacks and grays and whites. And then this one is the Puppet and Kite deck. It actually says Puppet in big letters, so you know it's the Puppet deck. And it also has this orangey reddish flower in here, flower type symbol, and it's got the same pattern as the other one, except that it is all black and different shades of gray, basically. On the side, well, I keep this normal. Top, you just got the same patterns as the front of the box. The bottom, basically just trademark stuff, and it also has Nancer.com, graphics by Eric Dwan and Honey Zhang. On the sides, you basically just got the patterns that you see on the box. Although this side, you can see it has basically half the front of the box and half the back of the box. And this side, it's just the same pattern as the back of the box. And the back, of course, you see the same patterns. And this one has a black seal, this one has a red seal, which I haven't seen in ages. On the flaps, it's just the patterns again. It's kind of interesting. Eric Dwan, by the way, is the same person who created the Bicycle Pirate decks and the Black Warrior, and there was another one as well with the Black Warrior, which is the red something, I believe. And there's supposed to be a Green Dragon and another one, but I haven't seen them yet. Anyways, you do get this ad card that says Nancer.com. It's upside down. Nancer.com. And it's kind of looks like a butterfly or something. Not really sure. Or maybe not a butterfly, some kind of insect or something. I really don't know. And then here's your back design on this one. It's very colorful. There's greens, there's yellows, reds. There's some almost blues in there. There's some beigey type colors, all sorts of colors in there. It just really pops. And you do get a double backer, of course. And you can see the cards. They're pretty colorful. And it's the same pattern that you see on the box on the back, except that it's off-centered basically from the what is on the box basically, or the box is off-centered. I hope that makes sense. Court cards for the diamonds and the hearts kind of look like this. They have gray background in here, a lot of grays, blacks and reds, and some custom pips that have red and white flowery type designs. And this one is actually the reverse. This one's red with white, this one's white with red. And the court cards do have black faces, albeit fairly standard artwork. The cards, as you can see, the red cards have red pips, but they also have some gray and black pips in there as well, depending on the card. Here is a 9-4. You can see the pips are all kind of weird, and there is a gray one in the center. This 9 diamonds and the 9 hearts, actually has red pips, black pips, and a gray pip in the center. And again, they're kind of weird. Here's your ace of spades. It says Puppet on top in a greenish color, and it also has a greenish colored indice. And the pip is just really colorful, full of different colors. It almost looks like it's being blown up or something like that. All these details and lines all over the place and everything. It's just pretty interesting, different. Haven't seen anything like that before. Here's one of the jokers. Pretty colorful. It's got this flower type designs all over it. And it says Joker in the 2 corners. The spade and club court cards have a lot of black and green, as you can see, with black faces again. It has this green background. And the pips are black and white, and in white and black. Here's another red one for you. Here's a 5, and again it's got a grayish pip in the center, 6 gray pips again. Again, black and gray pips on this one. This one's gray, these ones are black. It's kind of bizarre. I'll just quickly go through it. Here's your 10, another 5, and I think you get the general idea. Here's an ace of diamonds. It does have a black pip, and then it has some kind of red and gray diamond in the center. Hopefully you can see that okay. The ace of clubs has the same kind of design, except it's black and gray. Here's the other joker. It's identical, except it's all black and gray. See the side king. And then your ace of hearts again has the same thing as the ace of diamonds in red and gray with a black pip. Eight, and so forth. Basically, that's what you get with that deck. The other deck is over here. This one has a black seal. Why? Because it is in fact black. You do get this ad card again from Nancer.com, and it actually has a puppet type thing on it. It's a thing that holds a puppet, and a Nancer logo here at the bottom. And you do get a gaff card of this one instead of a double backer. It is a white version of the puppet Ace of Spades. I believe this is the puppet deck, yes. It's a white version of the Ace of Spades. It can be used for color change. And again, a lot of details, a lot more than the other deck, than the other ace. And it's pretty interesting. The back, the same design and pattern, except it's all black and gray. It's all different shades of gray as well as black. Code cards, more or less the same, except the clubs and spades have a grayish background, and they have a beige color and gray colors in there with white. And they got white indices, and the pips are white and gray. And you can see, if you see out here outside the border, you can actually see what it is that is on the pip. Basically, what it is they got that flowery design like on the jokers, and like I saw it somewhere else too. But basically it's like on the jokers, and might have been on the box somewhere. But the jokers have that flowery pattern, and you'll see it again in a minute when I show you these jokers. And basically that's what you see in the pip, and in this black deck you can actually see it sitting there in the saddles over the pip, so that's kind of interesting. Here's your ace of diamonds, kind of like the other one. These ones have red pips. The ace of diamonds has gray with red and gray in the center. Again, you get the same pips as the other deck with gray for the red ones, and 2 shades of gray, as you can see, instead of black. And here again you can see that flowery type pattern that I was talking about, and you can see how it goes into the pip. So that's kind of interesting. And these ones, as you can see, they're mostly red and black and white with red pips. They're a little bit more standard, and I like them a little bit better than, well, the black ones aren't bad either. I can get into that a little bit more once I continue to review. The other cards, the black cards, they seem to have green pips and 2 shades of gray, as you can see. That's kind of interesting. And also the number cards have green, or maybe the grayish indices, I'm not sure, but it's different than the court cards for the clubs and the spades, which have white indices, and these ones have, I guess it's the same gray as this. and then green pips and different shades of gray. So it's kind of bizarre. Jokers look like this. It's got that flowery image. That's what you see on the code cards that I was mentioning. And it says Joker in the two corners. That one's kind of all gray. Here's your ace of clubs. It's got green with this two-tone gray symbol. I guess it is two-tone. Ace of hearts. And then here's your other Joker. It's got that flowery thing in red. It says Joker in the two corners. And the J is in red. The other deck has the same thing. The one color Joker has a red J. And here's your Ace of Spades. It's like the other one that I showed you right here, except that it's black, and you can see all the patterns and details in the background in this light color. And there's tons of details in there, and it's just puppet on top. That's the only main thing, is this one does not say puppet on it, but not a big deal. That's what you get. The decks, as far as I know, have a standard bicycle stock and finish. And let's get into it a little bit more. As far as the faces are concerned, for the Kite deck, and more or less for the, well, they're a little bit different, so I'll do them separately. For the faces of the cards, I probably have to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm just not overly excited about them. I'm not a huge fan of the pips being at an angle, pointing in all sorts of directions. It just is a little bit weird, and also of the multicolored pips. I'm not sure what it is with this Eric Dwan, but every deck that he's ever made, like the Pirate decks and the Black Warrior, always have 1 or 2 pips that are a different color, and it just always feels kind of weird and out of place. I don't know if this guy is just high on crack or something all the time. I don't know, but please, Eric Dwan, if you're watching this, or Honey Zing, if you're watching this, please make a normal deck for a change, you know, normal faces, because this is just bizarre. As far as these court cards are concerned, I feel there's a little bit too much going on there with all the different colors in there, the black faces, the different colors in the pips, the custom pips, whereas the other ones are fairly normal. So a little bit bizarre. And then when you get to these ones, it's even worse with the green colors and the black. It just feels like it's too busy for me. And then the aces, again, you have to screw around with the pips and add in little design elements like this. Overall, you know, it's definitely not on the top of my list. It's also not on the bottom of my list. I do like the back design. I give the back design a 4 out of 5. The faces, like I said, I think 3 out of 5. Overall, it's a safe 3.5 out of 5. This deck is not that practical for most things. It's not really good for Magic, because you give somebody a card like this, actually, you give somebody, you know, a card like this, you're going to be like, you know, what the heck is that? I get it though, it's a flowery shape, so I kind of get it now. I'm just seeing that right now, it's a flowery type pattern. Kind of makes sense. But again, I'm still not digging it too much. And I just don't think it's that practical for Magic, with all the multicolored pips and the pips being all over the place. And then the court cards also being, I think, a little bit hard to distinguish, like, what the heck is that, you know? So, not too good for Magic, probably not the best for playing cards, and probably not the best for forcing, but good for having any collection. And I do like the double backer as well, so that's always a bonus. The black deck, again, you got all the weird pips and everything, and they throw in even more colors like green. And then the court cards have white indices, unlike the rest of the clubs and spades, as you can see. Although I do like the court cards a little bit better, Especially the red ones, they just seem a lot cleaner. They seem like there's not so much going on. You can actually see the details in them, unlike the other ones. Much better. But then you got, you know, all these colors in here, so probably the same score for everything. 3.5 for the faces. For the backs, probably 3.5 overall. 3.5 just because the backs look a lot better when they have all those colors on there and they pop. It's nice, but at the same time it's harder to see the details. Too much black and gray. If it was white instead of gray, it would have been better. But when you got gray that looks almost like the black, it's a little bit harder to see the details. But again, that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. For performing, again, probably not the best. Although they do have a nice gimmick or gaff card. And again, for cardistry and playing cards, probably not the best. Overall, a lot of pretty interesting decks. A little bit pricier, I think. I think they cost $20 or just over $20 for this set. Not too bad, but a little bit pricier.